going on, everyone? So today we're going to go ahead and go over Bitcoin here, guys. So we're gonna hop straight into that. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But look, guys, I told you that we were gonna do this. I told you that it was going to go down to 94K in this video that I made on the 4th, 2 days ago. I told you it was gonna go up to 94K. Not down. I mean up to 94K. But remember, we are still inside of the rising wedge. And that's what I've been saying the whole time here. And the reason I knew it was going to 94K is because we broke past this right here. And this resistance was at 89/90K. And we were pretty much forming a ascending triangle. So for one, we're trading right now within a rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern. If you look right here, you can see that even more so if I put it into a larger time frame. If we go into this 4-hour chart, you can see here we're still in the rising wedge here. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But the reason why I knew it was going to do this is because if you look right here, let's just go ahead and take all this off here, and then I can break this down for you guys. This right here is an ascending triangle. So we had an ascending triangle essentially, and these are bullish patterns. And I always say that ascending triangles are one of my favorite patterns because they're one of the most reliable patterns, honestly. And that's just how, in my experience, they've been reliable for me. And this ascending triangle here essentially is pretty bullish. So we ended up breaking out to the upside of that ascending triangle. But just to get back into where we were here, we're inside of a rising wedge. And rising wedges, again, are bearish patterns. So I do believe that we're going to break past 94K. And there is a possibility that this rising wedge takes us higher than expected. And what I mean by that is there's a possibility that we break out to the upside of the rising wedge. I've seen this plenty of times where rising wedges have been bullish and just broken out to the upside. It happens. It happens sometimes, right? So if this happens, we still have the same case that I've been saying all along. And a lot of people are speaking about this too. We still have the same resistance up here. We had a double top there before, but this is a significant resistance and it was significant support for us. So it's going to be a significant resistance for us again. If we go up, we'll probably get rejected at 108K. It's possible that we get rejected at 108K. And that's pretty much what I'm watching right now. And it's pretty much what I'm looking for here with Bitcoin. So I think there's a possibility that if we even get that high, we get rejected at 108K. I'm not saying that we're actually going to get all the way up to 108K, but if we do get that high, that would be the area of rejection that I would be looking for. But as of right now, looking at the 4-hour chart here, you can see that we are overbought here on the charts for Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart. This is the %R trend exhaustion. It's pretty much completely overbought here. It could stay overbought for longer than expected, so always keep that in mind. Lots of buying pressure here on the charts. We also had what we call bullish divergence, which is another reason why we had this uptrend right here. And bullish divergence, essentially, when you look at the MACD, is when you see that your lows are getting higher and higher and higher, and then now you're switching into buying pressure. So this right here is bullish divergence. And then on top of that, I'll show you an actual chart with it. So this is the bullish divergence chart down here. As you can see, your lows are becoming higher right here as the price is kind of sliding down a little bit. Let's go ahead and look at this. So we've seen here, this whole area started the bullish divergence, and we were also building an ascending triangle. So that was a super bullish pattern. Easy trade, easy money trade right there. So anyone that's been following the videos, you guys have probably made money if you guys have been taking the right trades. So it was a very easy play right there, honestly. But what we're seeing now could be the start of bearish divergence. And that is when you start to see lower highs as the price continues to trend higher. It starts to have smaller pumps on the way up as the highs are becoming lower on the MACD. So there is a possibility that we start building it. And if we did, it would look like this. The next The next high would essentially be lower than this, right? Like we're about to see some selling pressure here. So get ready for like a small pullback. And then you're going to see the MACD coming here and probably stopping here. And then you're going to see some selling, and then you're going to see some more buying. And the whole time it's doing this, we're going to be inching upwards. And as we go up, we're going to get to a point where, you know, the bullish divergence or the bearish divergence takes over, and then we'll start to sell off because the highs on the MACD are becoming lower highs on the MACD, this area here. So if we see this bearish divergence forming, then we can expect it to go a little bit higher, possibly to 100K, possibly to 108K. But if this is bearish divergence building, then what we would end up seeing is a rejection sometime between now and 108K, if we even get up to 108K. So that is what I'm looking at right now here for Bitcoin as we come up here. Now, I'm not really 100% sure on this rising wedge thing because it is a rising wedge. But remember, rising wedges are only bullish like 60%, or they're bearish like 60% of the time. Inside of a normal market, in a bear market, or no, in a bull market, rising wedges are like 80 something percent of the time. Let me show you. So yeah, as you can see here, this is coming directly from the TradingView education section, and it says real success rates of the rising wedge in trading. As you can see here, inside of overall success rate, 81% in bull markets. I wouldn't necessarily say that we're in a bull market. We're in the transition of going into a bear market, and I would argue that we might be like already in the bear market. So this one's like a little iffy, so I wouldn't even look at this 81%, but I would look over here. Bearish 60% of the cases. So if it's bearish 60% of the cases, it has a 40% chance of being bullish, which means there is a chance that it breaks out to the upside. And if you look over here, we actually have a gap to fill. And what I mean by the gap to fill, from here to this support, 99K, right? All the way to where we are now, 94K. There's a gap from 99K, or from 94K up to 99K. So if we pump, it's probably going to be an immediate rise to 99K, and then it'll probably pull back a little bit, so 96, maybe 94, and then it might break out from there. And from there, we have that next gap, trying to get from 99/100K to 104K right here. And then you can also see there's a little bit of area here that will fill from 104 all the way up to 106K. And then at that 108K area is that major resistance that I've been talking about. And that is because we have, let me go to the daily chart now. That's because we have the resistance, major resistance at 108K. And there was a major support there too. So that's going to be major resistance. Even if we break out, I'm looking for that to end right there. And that's like relief rally 101. And not only would that be like, that would be like the relief rally, right? Watch this. That could also be considered a head and shoulders pattern. So it could also be considered this bearish head and shoulders pattern. And what would that look like? Well, if you zoom in here, there's no argument at that point. There's no argument at this point. Honestly, let's actually pull up the weekly chart. And then let's go ahead and take everything off. All right. So now we have a bear chart here. What does this look like? And when I say bear chart, I mean like it's empty, like not bear market, but like bear chart, you know, it's empty. Anyways, we have shoulders, head, shoulders, dead. So that is exactly what I think is about to happen. And that's the shoulder line. And if you look at the head and shoulders pattern, that's exactly how it looks. That is exactly how it looks. So I think we are forming a bearish head and shoulders, which means 108K would be that area for us to stop at. Not only that, and look, every single time I'm like, not only that, like there's literally so many cases to argue for the rejection at 108K. we're also looking at the percent R trend exhaustion. I always look at this because this thing is not oversold yet. This long-term trend, as it comes down, which is the blue line, the long-term trend, has to catch up with the short-term trend. So what we're going to end up seeing is both the long-term trend, short-term trend increasing. Short-term trend is probably going to end up intercepting with the long-term trend somewhere around here. It's going to start going faster, and then you're going to see the long-term trend pulling back, and then it's going to work its way down, and this is pretty much going to be the bear market, right? And that's why I think by the end of 2026 will be the end of the bear market. So that is what I'm seeing inside of this pattern here. And then on top of all of this, if you pull up the charts, you can see on the MACD, the lows are getting, it's just going crazy, like a lot of selling volume. The highs are going down. You can see that as bearish divergence. Where's the bearish? Yeah, there's the bearish divergence chart. So as you can see here, that would be bearish divergence. So that's what I'm looking at here, and that's what it looks like it's doing. So I do believe we will get that rejection up here at 108K, and we're forming a bearish head and shoulders pattern. Me personally, I don't really like doing swing trades like that. Because things can go wrong. Even though it's a head and shoulders pattern forming, doesn't necessarily mean it has to go down. No, it doesn't mean it has to go down. Even though this is a rising wedge, it doesn't have to be bearish. Even though we know that rising wedges are bearish patterns, it doesn't necessarily have to be bearish. So that's why I don't like swing trading. But I do short trades, right? Like I'm looking for to get in, get out. Perfect example. I wait for confirmation. I don't go in until I get confirmation. Actually, during the live stream that we had, someone was hating on me for, not necessarily hating on me, but he was critiquing me for saying, I could have did this, I could have did that. Yeah, I say that because I only make decisions once confirmation is made. Perfect example. Easy play right here. Easy play right here. Quick 4 to 5%. And I say that all the time. All I care about is making a quick 4 to 5%. Because with the amount that I'm trading, like 4 to 5% is pretty good. So all I wanted was this. And that's exactly what I did. And this is what I talk about. You wait for confirmation. As soon as that confirmation was confirmed and we broke out, perfect trade, easy layup, right? But what we're looking at right now isn't necessarily an easy layup, but it is a good trade to watch. It is a good pattern to watch, the head and shoulders. So, for instance, you could buy Bitcoin, and I'm not telling you to do this by any means. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But hypothetically speaking, if I bought now and I got out towards 108K, I'm looking at 16 to 15% just in Bitcoin, just from buying and holding Bitcoin, 16% or something like that. So there's a possibility that that could happen. Am I saying it's going to do it? No, I'm not saying it's 100% going to do it, but I have a good feeling that that is what's forming from according to the technical analysis. You always want your stop loss as well. What is my stop loss? My stop loss, personally, for one, this could be a double bottom, right? Boom, boom, and then boom. Like this is a good case for a double bottom. Like, actually, let me show you guys on the weekly chart. It'll probably look better. So yeah, if this was a double bottom situation, then that then we could have a bull trap right here, right? And then we can see something like this: boom, 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 double bottom. And then that would mean that the rising wedge actually was bearish. And then that could mean that we're having the double bottom, which is a bullish sign. And then it could also mean we're still going to do the head and shoulders. We're still going to go to 108K, right? Honestly, I would like to see that. I would like to see that because it would trap people and it would trick people. And I know it might sound messed up, but the main thing here is liquidity, a liquidity trap. That's all we're looking at if it's a bull trap. Like if it gets rejected up here and it actually dumps and does the double bottom, this right here is a liquidity trap. So if that happened, I would be looking to double down either at 80K. If it did not break 80K and go down to 74, I'd be looking to double down at 80 and then riding it back up. But there's a possibility that it doesn't do that. There's a possibility that the momentum is so strong that it could continue up. There's a possibility, right? But just because it's possible doesn't necessarily mean that it'll happen. So you got to be aware of that. And the reason why I'm not buying and doing a swing trade right now is because one of my criteria is not met. We are at a overbought area on the percent R trend exhaustion on the 4-hour chart. So even there's a small possibility of this being a bull trap. Not even small. There is a possibility, right? It's a possibility. It's a bull trap because we're still in a rising wedge. So that possibility is not enough for me to actually want to buy and try to do a swing trade. Instead, I'll wait for this, and if it ends up getting rejected here at the top of this rising wedge around 96K or where it's at 994 and coming down to 80K, then I'll be looking to double down and get in at 80K, and then I would be looking to ride that wave all the way back up. Now, would it actually do that? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to do that or not. And that's why I'm being extremely cautious and careful. Because if it is a double bottom, and then sometime in February, we'll hit 108K and then get rejected from there if it is a double bottom. So I'm waiting because, well, for one, if I wait and I do it this way, and if it actually does, and that's a big if, like this is all like this is how I think when I'm trading like this, so you guys can kind of see like how I trade and like the psychology of me when I'm trading. I want the easy layup trade. If I'm gonna hold overnight, I need that easy layup. And what I mean by that is from 80K all the way up to 108K is 35%, right? So if this is indeed a bull trap right now and we do the double bottom, I want to get in at 80K so I can get out at 108K for a 35% trade. I don't know if it's going to do that or not. It might go up to 108K now and then get rejected and then dump. Or everybody might be wrong and it might just break past 108K. So there's all these scenarios that can happen. But the main thing you want to look at is what is it telling us now? What it's telling us now is we have a bearish pattern, which is a rising wedge currently. And we might quite possibly be forming a double bottom if we get rejected at the top of that rising wedge. We might be forming a bullish double bottom. And if it's a bullish double bottom, then that could be bringing us up to 108K. And if that brings us to 108K, now we're looking at a head and shoulders pattern, right? So that is exactly why this is this is extremely, what if scenarios, left and right, what if. But this is trading 101. Like this is trading 101. You're never 100% sure, and you always want to follow the patterns and wait for confirmation. I have zero confirmation, so I'm not buying anything right now. The only confirmation I had was a short trade, right? From 90K to 94K. That was the only confirmation I had. A short trade, very short. 5% is nothing. But if you want the bigger trades, you have to wait for the bigger opportunities. And that bigger opportunity, in my personal opinion, might be forming right now, which could be the head and shoulders pattern. And this is what I'm really paying attention to. Because if this is a head and shoulders and it stops at like 108 or 106K, somewhere around there, 108 or 106, and then comes down, I want to benefit from that, the one that we just now seen, right? And if you zoom in over here, what happened before? It did a double bottom. It did a double bottom. Now let me go ahead and go back to the 4-hour for you guys, and then I'll show you guys what I mean by it doing a double bottom. So if you look at this area here, when we're going through our falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern, we did a double bottom, right? It tricked people. It made people think that was going to continue. It actually did 2 double bottoms. So it did one here, boom, 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 double bottom. Now it's bullish, and now you could have made money from 77K up to 88K. And then it continued to do another one. Boom, 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 boom. It doesn't have to be straight across. Double bottom can be diagonal like that. And it did another one. That second double bottom was the bullish one that would have made you a lot of money if you would have gotten in at 75K and then got out all the way up there. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because if you come back here and you look at that, it tricked people. It made people think that this was the double bottom that it was about to do and about to take off. But nope, it did it right again. It did the same exact thing again. Did the same double bottom. And the reason why I'm mentioning it is because if you look at kind of how things are forming and you look at what the chart did, boom, 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 almost like a double bottom. And then now we're almost forming what seems to be like an overall double bottom, possibly. So that's what I'm waiting for. It might not work like that, and it might just take off and get to 108K. And I know I reiterated this multiple times because I want to make sure that it's completely clear that I'm not all in on any one of these strategies. I'm not all in on any one of these. I'm looking at it and I'm strategically planning. Because if I miss this and it just takes off and it goes up to 108K, if we get rejected at 108K and then we go below 100K, that's my confirmation to short. If we go up to 108K and then we proceed to drop below 100K, now I have a short confirmation. Now I can short from here all the way down. So that's just another opportunity that I'm doing. So I have literally about 10 different strategies that I could take. I would say like five different strategies that I could take and benefit from. And I just wanted to show you guys the way that I think when I'm looking at these charts. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And also look at this. Fear and greed index 49 at a neutral. People are starting to get more greedy. So that's something that you want to watch out for as well. And it's funny because you can actually see the head and shoulders building even on the fear and greed index. Look here on the crypto price. As you can see, the gray line. You can see the head and shoulders forming. But yeah, this is all I got for you guys. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Check out the links in the description. I have donation links, or not links, but donation addresses for Solana and BNB if you guys want to support the channel. Because some people think that I make a lot of money off YouTube, but I really don't make nothing. Each of these videos makes me about $2. So I'm really doing you guys a huge favor, and it's super cheap. Like, you know, just completely free, actually. Not even super cheap, just completely free. And all I ask is that you guys hit the like button and subscribe because it does help the channel. And then if you want, you could take it a step further and become a member of the channel, which is only $9.99 per month. And then if you also want to take it a step further, I have these addresses inside of my description. I got one person so far that donated. He's also a member of the channel. Big shout out to him. Donated like $60 in Solana. That was much appreciated. Much appreciated. Any amount helps for me to keep doing these videos for you guys for free. So if you guys do want to donate, I got those two crypto addresses. So you guys can do that. And just to also show you guys full transparency here. Like I don't make much on YouTube. I used to see people say, "Oh, he's just doing this for ad revenue." Like doing this for ad revenue. Like actually, if you look at the memberships, $75 of that, $180 in the last month is from my memberships, and then $187, like that's nothing. So yeah, I really hardly make anything on YouTube. So this is pretty much the numbers here on YouTube. So like $200 in December, $400 in November, $500 in October. I was doing more videos back then, but even before that, you know, you hardly see anything in here. So in 1 year of doing YouTube and putting in hours upon hours, thousands of hours of work, only $2,000, and that's a full year. So imagine working for a full year and only making $2,000. So that's pretty much how my YouTube is going. So if you guys want to support the channel, again, just hit the like button, subscribe. It helps support. You can become a member. That helps as well. Or you could donate through the Solana address or BNB address. You don't have to do any of them, but I'd greatly appreciate it if you did. But anyway, shout out to you guys. For the members of the channel, let me know in the description what you guys want, or let me know in the comments what you guys want me to go next. I'll be doing videos for the members, whatever you guys want me to do. And then if you donate, you could also request anything to me as well. Or you can do it like a super thanks and I'll do anything. I'll go over any other projects as long as it's not a low cap scam coin. And if it is a low cap scam coin, I'll probably still make a video, but then I'll tell you in that video it's a low cap scam coin and don't mess with it. But anyway, shout out to you guys. And as always, I'll be back with another video.